Alright, finally. I don't know what was going on there. Okay, guys. Here we go. We're gonna check out what's been going on since I left. Well, this happened.
Bomber, the B-2 was originally intended to be able to penetrate the sophisticated air defenses of the Soviet Union, deliver nuclear weapons to strategically important targets, and return to bases in the US. The first B-2 was publicly displayed on a B-2 bomber is set to
What happened here? B2 mountains. It's crazy, huh?
The surprise attack on Iran started with deception. Then came stealth bombers, bunker buster bombs, and tomahawks launched by a submarine.
The U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime.
Throughout the mission, we retained the element of surprise.
Here's how the mission unfolded and how the Pentagon's deliberate misdirection helped keep the attack under wraps. Early Saturday morning, 2 B-2 bombers left their base in Missouri and began heading west toward the Pacific. Flight trackers quickly picked up clues about the trip,
Mighty 2-1, contact Mighty 1-1, Salt Lake Interval.
including refueling operations out of Oklahoma, then California, then Hawaii. A defense official confirmed the movement to the Journal, and news outlets quickly began reporting on the B-2's moves west.
B-2 stealth bombers have been moved to the Pacific.
Those multiple B-2 stealth bombers are in fact headed towards Guam.
There were indications that the bombers could be heading to a staging base at Diego Garcia or Guam, giving Iran the impression that a potential strike could be days away. As that was happening, another group of B-2s left Whiteman and headed east.
The main strike package, comprised of 7 B-2 Spirit bombers, each with 2 crew members, proceeded quietly to the east with minimal communications.
According to the Pentagon, around 5 p.m. Eastern Saturday,
All right.
which is 12:30 a.m. Sunday in Iran, a submarine in the Middle East fired the first shots, launching more than 24 Tomahawk missiles. They wouldn't land until after the last bombs were dropped. Around 6 p.m., the strike package entered Iranian airspace. According to General Dan Kane, decoy aircraft were sent ahead of the B-2s, flying at high altitude and high speed to throw off Iran's air defenses. As the strike package approached Fordo and Natanz, U.S. fighter jets fired against any potential Iranian threats. Then, from about 6:40 to 7 p.m. Eastern, the B-2s dropped huge bunker buster bombs on their targets. 12 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator bombs were dropped on Fordo, while 2 were dropped on Natanz, according to a U.S. official. Shortly after that, the Tomahawk missiles struck Esfahan, and the strike package exited Iranian airspace to return home.
This was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown, exceeded only by those in the days following 9/11.
In one night, the U.S. used 3/4 of its believed stockpile of this type of bunker buster bomb. But did it accomplish the goal of setting Iran's nuclear program back? The UN Atomic Energy Agency chief said it's unclear.
400 kilograms.
Alright. Wasting our taxpayer money. Shouldn't be. You have to go way back. 1962. 1952. Anyways. What else? Oh yeah. This one. I can't believe this happened. Damn, he's gone. Getting closer to the one I remember. How I remember him. The Hollywood thing, not that much. This one, there we go, here we go. There we go. That movie was not that good. Here we go. Oh, she was there way back then. Yep, here we go. That's Hulk. Damn, 62. 68, still going. Okay, the other one is, oh yeah. This one was,
I guess the whole case is solved now. Good evening and welcome to We Lied to You News, our top story.
yeah.
Even in death, the secrets of Jeffrey Epstein remain tightly guarded.
What do you guys think? I have no opinions. You know, I have no judgment on it. Why? Because, you know, friends will be friends. People will be people. So I just didn't think he was going to be president. I'm not saying he shouldn't be. I'm just saying that, you know, you do things and now you're under the microscope. So, look at him, he's having fun.
Donald Trump is the Hugh Hefner of the 90s. In the 1990s, Donald Trump was building a reputation for himself as a ladies' man.
For an older person, he's very attractive.
For an
May be the most eligible bachelor in America. Please welcome Donald Trump.
gone were the days when he was known primarily as the real estate mogul of New York.
Remember the 80s? The yuppies, the buyouts, the junk bonds, and
Look
especially
at that
the
shoes.
Donald.
The man who was the darling of the 80s is seen in the 90s as a man in trouble, and he knows it.
The drama started when Donald began cheating on his wife, Ivana Trump, with aspiring actress Marla Maples. After an ugly public falling out, Donald and Ivana divorced in 1992, with some reports that Ivana got millions from the split.
Donald Trump's former or current girlfriend, depending on what day it is sharing all her secrets for staying in shape.
Donald eventually married Marla, 2 months after she gave birth to a baby girl. But by the end of the decade, Trump was single again, and he seemed to enjoy the dating scene.
The reputation of Donald Trump, the man who dates a different woman every year.
I don't do that. I mean, I've been with a number of women, but it's been over a fairly long period of time. I've had great relationships with women.
If you could have your choice, who would be the one person you'd date? Or who are the three most beautiful women in
Well, how about Lady Di? That would be an interesting one. She's going to be available.
What kind of
No,
woman
not
do
my
you
choice.
like?
I think my choice might be you. Look at the legs of her. Boy.
Can you imagine how controversial I'd be? You think about Clinton with the women. How about me with the women? Can you imagine?
Well, I mean, I think there is a certain controversy to me, and I am single, and I do go out with women.
While his family life may
It's a
have
good
been
thing
on
he
the
wasn't
rocks,
president when he
his
was
business
young.
empire was crumbling.
The politicians would have killed him. I mean, would have just crucified him in politics.
It was amazing.
That's why it's hard, you know, for me to judge. He's having
Lasers,
fun.
fireworks, and miles of neon lights provided the color as Trump opened
He's
the Taj
having
Mahal
fun.
Casino Hotel in Atlantic City.
But just months after it opened, the Taj Mahal missed one of its debt payments, and Trump began looking for a bailout.
His empire could be at risk of collapse if the New Jersey Casino Commission decides not to approve Trump's bailout plan.
By the fall of 1991, all 3 casinos had filed for bankruptcy.
That's not his
The
fault.
Jersey Casino Control Commission
Atlanta,
approved Donald Trump's bailout plan.
the whole
That plan
Atlanta,
allows him to use his 3 Atlantic City casinos as
casinos
collateral for a
just
$65 million loan.
I mean, it was really not going nowhere. They wanted to compete with Vegas. That wasn't gonna happen. I actually was there at the Atlantic
You know, I had a wife
casinos.
who was saving for $2 billion. I had the banks.
It's like they tried to do something that
One asset,
they're missing
piece of land
something.
on Manhattan East Side that Trump had purchased in 1985. Trump had envisioned a huge project on the site,
Hold on.
but in 1994, the real estate market fell, leaving Trump unable to make payments on the land. So Trump sold off the lots and made a deal where he got to keep some of the profits from any future development, and to put his name on a few of the buildings, marking a new chapter in which Trump was less of a developer and more of a brand.
Who knows better about hard times than...
In Atlanta, those casinos, they failed because there's an equation, I think. They just didn't have the equation right. Look, Vegas had Elvis, right? Had the Rat Pack. I mean, that means celebrities, famous people, real talent. And even now, I mean, like, you wouldn't really go to Vegas for casinos, but they have talent. You go there for the shows, you go to the casinos. Can't go wrong. The problem with Atlanta is that they're just so far away on the East Coast, and Hollywood is in LA. So, and the Vegas and LA, Hollywood area, I mean, there's a symbiotic relationship going on there. That it's been there since almost the beginning. So that's why there's just no way Atlanta would ever work out. I mean, why would you go to a casino strip? That's it. Sure, they brought in talent, but it's not the same as Vegas. Vegas is like next door to LA. People can just drive there in a few hours. And the whole flying thing, if you haven't flown a lot for work, you won't understand. But if you do fly for work, you'll understand that you don't want to spend a lot of time in the airport. or long flights, you know? So, anyways.
I had a company, it was doing well. I had tremendous debt, like this country. And in 1990, the whole country, it just went very, very bad.
As his finances stabilized, Trump began to reclaim his status in the public psyche with publicity stunts, like a 1995 Pizza Hut commercial in which he appeared with Ivana Trump.
Ivana.
What do people think?
It's wrong, isn't it?
But it feels so right.
Then it's a deal?
By the end of the decade, he was once again sounding like the Trump of the 80s, talking big about his finances.
Back in the 1990s, you owed something like $900 million. Your empire was pretty much more than that. You owed more than that?
975 was personally guaranteed. That was just the small part. That was the harder debt. But I owed many, many billions of dollars. And now my company is much bigger and stronger than it was in the 80s.
And flirting with a presidential run.
Businessman Donald Trump tells Meet the Press that tomorrow he, Trump, is also leaving the Republican Party to join the Reform Party.
He's considered the largest developer in New York.
In 1999, Trump was on the verge of doing something that he had only hinted at in the 80s. He was about to decide whether he could really run for the White House.
Running mate. If you decide to go with this, who would be the ideal running mate for Donald?
Oh, I think Oprah would be great.
Seriously?
I think that probably that would be suitable.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube
right.
channel. Subscribe by clicking.
Oh, what else has happened?
Everything Donald does is hidden in its brazenness. You just do it right out there. And
oh yeah, we were talking about the list. There's no list. DOJ says no.
The DOJ says it found no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, concluding Epstein did not maintain a client list that he used to traffic underage girls. It's a striking reversal of a past statement by the head of the Justice Department, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Bondi has faced fierce criticism from some Trump supporters after she promoted the February release of a series of Epstein documents that were already publicly available, with some...
Ugh, it's a mess.
Now into the...
It's a total mess. You know who didn't? You know who had a list? Where's the height?
conspiracy is in the...
It was just reported that
You know who else in there?
The Justice Department released transcripts and audio from an interview conducted last month with Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. The transcripts cover 2 days' worth of interviews between Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. She is currently serving a 20-year sentence in federal prison for crimes committed with Epstein, which involved trafficking of underage girls on Epstein's behalf. Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett is joining me live from Washington, D.C.
Tomorrow night, the House Special Committee investigating the January...
Remember Heidi? Come on, man. Where is this thing? Remember... And again, I have no opinion on this. I'm like, she provided
I don't think
a
people
service.
understand just how deep the rabbit hole goes when it comes to Heidi Fleiss. Let's take a closer look. Born into a privileged family, Heidi Fleiss seemed destined for a conventional life, but by the early 90s, She was running an elite prostitution ring catering to Hollywood's A-listers. Her client list was a who's who of the rich and famous, and her downfall was as dramatic as her rise. Arrested in 1993, Fleiss faced multiple charges, but the true crime lay in the secrets she held. She claimed to protect her clients' identities, but whispers of her black book still haunt Tinseltown. Want to dive deeper into the lives of notorious figures in history? Subscribe for more.
Now, here's the question. What happened to Heidi?
Dance that gave you whiplash, and most captivating of all, the contents of a book despite not knowing what was inside of it.
It had more buzz than Madonna's sex book, and it was even juicier. I'm talking about the little black book containing all of the supposed clients of Heidi Fleiss, aka Madame Hollywood. Hey guys, I'm Tracy Stempin.
Yeah, you bitches don't know shit.
Sex, fame, and fortune. The Heidi Fleiss scandal had it all. The Hollywood Madam was a 90s tabloid sensation known for running an upscale prostitution ring in LA. Her arrest made headlines, rivaled only in that decade by OJ and Bill Clinton. But unlike them, not many know what Heidi is up to now. Here's a hint. It has to do with a bird rescue, which you will...
Man. Good days are gone.
Clearly, in the interview earlier, Heidi took Tori back to her reign on top in part 1.
Good times are gone.
Joining me is the one, the only Heidi Fleiss. Thank you so much, Heidi, for taking the time to talk to us today. It's hard to believe it's been 2 decades since your reign as the Hollywood Madam. Your life looks very different now, and I'm really excited for our viewers to hear all about your new passion, which we can see over your shoulder. But I want to go Wayne's World back in time. I want you to take me back to the early 90s. You're on top of the world. You're making $300,000 a week, and you're rubbing elbows with the most powerful people. Talk to me and paint a picture. Was life as glamorous as it looked?
Well, I remember one time I came out over my bedroom, and Prince came out my bedroom. Prince was dancing in my living room.
Was it insane?
Oh, so it was a lot. It was. Look, this isn't some Jeffrey Epstein weirdo stuff. These are adults. These are very well.
That's why I have no opinion. Hey. That's how it is. Yep. Hey. No problem.
But people were obsessed and still are with your little black book. To this day, you famously refuse to name your clients no matter how much money is thrown at you. Why was it easy for you to kind of be the Hollywood Madam, but you won't break your silence? I think that's so fascinating. Tell me about your loyalty there.
It just, look it. Everybody knew, we all knew what we were doing. It just because, that day, I knew that guy, the undercover cop that arrested me. It was my fault. I was high, and I clouded my judgment. I sunk my own ship. Why should I destroy everyone else? I had a great relationship with the people.
See? This is why she's cool. I mean, come on.
One client paid me as a gift $10,000 in $500 bills. Things like
So let me pick us back up on our timeline. It's 1993. Your life is really starting to change. You have an arrest, and the trials are very, OJ levels big, right? There was the famous Charlie Sheen testimony, then the prison sentence in 96. remember that time. Take me back. What was that like?
Almost 2 years.
Of course, looking back, it was easy. It was no problem. It was fun. It's over. But it was not. I mean, there were times when, I mean, I've never been so terrified. I thought I was going to have to kill some girl on a weight pile and spend the rest of my life there. It was really...
Did you use your smarts to sort of figure out where you went in prison to kind of figure out how to survive?
Well, I did look around and think I could be pimping out my roommates.
That's great. We'll leave with that.
Actually, prison was probably the most important thing that happened to me because I viewed the world differently when I got out, and that's how I wound up with all these books.
I want to go to the birds because you might not have noticed the sounds, everyone, but there's some birds going on, and I want to know about this. You have a very interesting passion for macaws and parrots. Tell me about your passion and why you relate to the cages that you said, and I wanted you to explain that. I think that...
Alright, so anyways, remember that. I don't know, you know, this world is so crazy. What was the other thing? Well, how was it? Alright, I'll forget. Anyways, let's see how Golden Sword is doing. What time is it? It's almost time. Business. Tony Bennett Bard is damn. I'm not surprised. Yeah, 6 commodities. It's $40. 340.47. Damn. Gold is up there. Three reasons for Palantir, 17% stock tumble recent. Campaign, oh yeah, that Sweeney Genie guy campaign. People are a big deal out of that. That was how is NVIDIA doing stock? That's bad. Alright, let's see what else we gotta look at here. Oh. Speaking of these Palanters. Texas AI buildings. Texas. See what's going on with this.
Sam, look, I really appreciate you coming out here. It's great to be here with you today in Abilene, Texas. I think if you look around at the stuff that we're doing, it's very impressive.
It's so cool to see.
I feel like a little kid's getting to play with very big toys.
The construction equipment always does that.
Yeah, and
brings it right back.
There's a lot of cool stuff we get to look at, so let's get it started.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Alright, construction's still going on. Say AI. What's this? Say I. It's fun. But really, come on.
Sam, look, I really appreciate you coming out here. It's great to be here.
Alright, so open.
If you were thinking about the future of tech in America, you might...
Welcome to Abilene, Texas.
Abilene.
This is the site of Project Stargate. A very, very mysterious, much talked about, much speculated about project. Why call it Stargate?
It began as a code name. Mistake.
Emily?
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Abilene.
So awesome to be here. How many people are on the site?
Today we have about 2,200 people on site.
If it all comes together, this is going to be one of the most massive infrastructure projects in American history.
This was just a complete barren field.
So
right?
there was nothing here in June?
There were a bunch of mesquite trees and bushes and brush. And today we have almost 1 million square feet of fully developed building that's going to be energizing large-scale GPU clusters in the coming weeks and months.
Building after building on this red dirt behind me will be filled with chips that'll power the AI revolution. If you're using ChatGPT somewhere out there, there's a good chance it'll be powered by data centers that are being built right here. There have been no pictures, no cameras allowed inside until now. So we are going to give you your first look.
The velocity of innovation here is just mind-blowing. What I saw rising from the red dirt in Abilene, how do you personally grapple with the pace of it all?
We are definitely doing something. I believe AI will help dramatically accelerate the pace of science and discovery and our understanding of what's possible.
Welcome to Abilene, Texas. This is the site.
It takes lots of hardware to support life-changing software. This data center opened in Irving last week. Its owner, Edged, spent months modifying the vacant warehouse for supercomputers. To run AI, they need the right building, special cooling systems, and plenty of power.
They have to produce a lot of electricity, and we'll make it possible for them to get that production done very easily at their own plants if they want.
This week, President Trump announced Project Stargate. Several high-tech heavyweights promised to invest a combined $500 billion over the next 4 years on infrastructure supporting AI, including their own power plants. Feds will cut red tape to speed construction.
This is going to be about building new projects in the real world construction.
Neil Chilson was a technology expert for the FTC.
This is a huge opportunity for Texas.
The Lone Star State hosts almost 400 data centers already. It's easy to get a permit here. There's plenty of land and people to employ. That's why Stargate's first project is already under construction in Abilene.
Each building's 500,000 square feet. There are 10 buildings currently being
20.
built, but that will expand to 20.
Combined, Texas's data centers use lots of electricity, nearly 10% of the state's peak demand. But if they start generating their own supply, it shouldn't strain Texas's grid. That'd mean more warehouses like this one.
You know, straining the grid is actually a real thing. It's crazy. All the known outlets just got a huge brain upgrade.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by
So,
thinking about it. Meet Base
Project
44,
Stargate.
a complete AI creation platform.
Boston Dynamics just gave Atlas a brain upgrade with one large behavior model running its entire body. At the same time, Unitree is teasing a full-height humanoid with 31 joints. Figure proved its robot can walk blind and recover like a human. South Korea revealed Alex with muscle-like precision, and TechMan introduced an NVIDIA-powered humanoid designed for real-world tasks.
Wow.
It's the race for humanoids, and it's heating up fast, so let's talk about it. So Atlas,
wonder if
the
they're gonna
robot
show
that
any
most
of
of us
this.
know from its acrobatics and parkour demos, is now running on something called a Large Behavior Model, or LBM. This is a pretty big shift, because instead of engineers hand-coding every little movement, the robot now learns skills through demonstrations. Think about what that means. In the past, adding a new ability to Atlas would take weeks of low-level coding. But with LBMs, researchers can just show the robot what to do and it picks it up. Boston Dynamics and TRI actually released a video of this. Atlas was shown doing a long, continuous sequence of tasks. Walking, crouching, lifting, packing, sorting, and
I saw
organizing.
this.
At one point, researchers even threw curveballs mid-task, like closing the lid of a box and sliding it across the floor, and Atlas had to self-adjust. What makes this demonstration different from older humanoid attempts is that the LBM controlled the whole robot as one system. Usually, locomotion is separated from manipulation. Legs are handled by one control system, arms by another. Here, it's unified. Hands and feet were treated almost identically, which opens the door to much more natural, whole-body problem solving. The project kicked off back in October of 2024 when Boston Dynamics and TRI formed their partnership, and this demo is the first major result. Scott Quindersma, who's Vice President of Robotics Research at Boston Dynamics.
Interesting.
What I actually do with it, you're definitely not alone. That's why we created the AI Income Blueprint. It shows you automate everything. And Toyota are pushing Atlas forward. China's Unitree has been teasing its next flagship humanoid. The company is already well known for releasing some of the most advanced bipedal robots on the market.
Nice.
And now they've hinted at a brand new humanoid that will stand 180 centimeters tall. So basically around human height. It's expected to have 31 degrees of freedom in its joints, which means a ton of flexibility and control for things like walking, balancing, or manipulation.
That should be interesting.
There's no official launch date yet, but the fact that Unitree is expanding its portfolio in this direction shows how serious they are about dominating the humanoid race. Considering how quickly they pushed out the R1 and the G1, the timeline might not be too far away, but right now, it's still under wrap. Over in the United States, another startup has been showing off some serious progress, and this one feels like a turning point.
Oh,
Figure,
this guy?
the company founded by Brett Adcock, has been working on humanoids for a while now. You probably saw clips earlier this year of two figure robots unpacking groceries together.
This is the one that I thought was like over embellished. Well, like I believe that the guy doesn't. He's saying stuff that aren't really gonna happen, and that I feel like it's gonna be a failure company. Let's see what they have up their sleeves.
That was already impressive, but now they've shown something even bigger, a new walking controller they call Helix. In Adcock's own words, this controller is unstoppable. And from the footage he shared, it honestly looks that way. The video shows the Figure 02 robot tackling real-world obstacles in a way that looks alarmingly human. First, it handles a curb, then uneven terrain covered with plants, then a wooden pallet where it actually gets its toe caught. Instead of falling over, it does a little stagger, regains balance, and keeps moving. It then crosses some wobbly boards, steps on a fluorescent bulb that shatters under its foot, and just continues walking confidently. And here's the detail that makes it even more impressive. The robot did all of this blind with its camera switched off. It was purely relying on its motor sensors and balance, which shows how robust this reinforcement learning approach really is. Adcock explained that reinforcement learning is central to their progress. Every attempt the robot makes helps it improve. In some areas, he says they've already reached superhuman levels of walking. That's a bold claim, but seeing the robot handle trip hazards better than most people would, it doesn't feel exaggerated. South Korea also had a major reveal. WI Robotics unveiled its first
I don't know this. I don't know this one.
Alex, short for All Experience. This one is particularly interesting because it's not built around brute strength like some of the heavier robots. Instead, it's all about muscle-like control, finesse, and responsiveness. Alex has 15 degrees of freedom for lifelike movement, but the key is that it responds to force, contact, and impact almost the way humans do. It can detect forces as small as 100-gram force without even using tactile sensors. And at the same time, it can deliver 40 newtons of fingertip force. Its design uses an arm system with more than 10 times lower friction and rotational inertia compared to conventional collaborative robots. That means it moves more fluidly and naturally. It also has a gravity compensation mechanism built in from the waist to the upper body, letting it handle high-load tasks without wasting energy or stressing the structure. In terms of weight, Alex is really light, just about 700 grams for the hand and 5 kilograms for the shoulder-down assembly. Yet it can lift more than 3 kilograms with one hand, which gives it a strength-to-weight ratio that actually beats
6 pounds.
many bigger robots, over 20 kilograms. To put this in perspective, Figure 02 weighs around 154 pounds and can carry up to 44 pounds. Digit, the robot from Agility Robotics, handles about 40 pounds of payload in warehouses. Alex isn't trying to compete with those numbers. Instead, it's designed for delicate, interactive environments like healthcare, elder care, or home use. That's why it's modular and lightweight. You can deploy parts of the robot depending on what you need. WI Robotics presented Alex as part of a wider network of collaborators. WRLD is contributing physical AI, while MIT is actually a subsidiary of Quanta Computer, and they've mostly been known for collaborative robots, or cobots, especially ones with integrated vision system, testing it internally at Techman's plants before rolling it out to customers. If everything goes smoothly, they're aiming for a launch in the second half of next year. On the business side, Techman has had a mixed year. In the first half, about 30% of their sales came from cobots integrated with autonomous mobile robots for Advantech Technologies Japan, which makes medical devices. Another 25% came from shipments to chip makers. Overall revenue hit 891.33 million new Taiwan dollars in the first half, which is around 29.2 million United States dollars. That's a 16.35% increase year on year. But despite the growth, they still posted a net loss of 29.48 million new Taiwan dollars, largely because of the strong appreciation of the local currency against the dollar. Geographically, China accounts for about 30% of their sales, Europe about 20%, and the United States less than 5%. They already have a hub in the United States for after-sales service, and they're considering setting up something similar in Mexico. They're even open to establishing full production in the United States or Mexico if tariffs and setup costs stay manageable.